There's a place in southern Indiana that every fall becomes this place of unsurpassed beauty. My family and I have been coming here for, 20-something years. And every year, I walk out and watch the sunrise. There's this perfect little pocket that the hills form that frames the sunrise each and every morning. And I've witnessed it hundreds of times, and yet it never gets old. And each year, I try my best to capture the beauty of it. And each year I fail, but I'll leave what I have for you here. We arrived on an 80-degree day, warm, sunny, and by the next morning I was in double down and gloves while making coffee. The weather in southern Indiana at this time of year knows no boundaries, and it was proven this week. And after a cup of hot coffee is in hand, I can take the dog down for a walk on a dock that's nearby. It's the best place to see the ducks and watch the sun as it rises to warm the air and burn off the fog.
Doing that.
Whoa.
Stop doing that.
Whoa. And every chance he gets, Dad shows off his working semaphores. And any excuse he can have to drive that old car around the campground, he'll take it. You need firewood? He'll go get it. You need bagged ice to refill the cooler? Done. Or he'll just take it around to hear that old crash box whine. Any excuse is good enough for him.
What did you do to that chair?
I put the green stripes in it because the other ones that were in there were kind of getting torn. So I thought, I'll just replace those torn ones with the green ones. You like that? Do you want some bacon too, Dalton?
Oh, no.
Just potato? What about meatloaf?
You'll take some meatloaf. Oh, you want meatloaf. It's like hamburger almost.
Okay.
With ketchup on it.
Down on that thing.
Yeah, because you just skin the whole top, basically.
Wow.
All this talent waits
Awesome.
right over here.
This one's a little crooked. It's driving me nuts. Look.
We have all sorts of competitions. Who can bike down the hill the fastest? Who can run from point A to B the fastest? And the neighbors had pumpkin carving contest. I think it's pretty obvious where my vote went.
Get it?
They're okay. The kids don't. Every year, the local fire department has their annual fundraiser in the form of a fish fry. One of the days we were there, I had the chance to drive the 55 to retrieve our awesome deep-fried fish sandwiches. Believe it or not, I'd never driven this car. Dad wouldn't let me. Just kidding. There's something about the simplicity of a vintage car. I can't really explain it, but if you know about it, then you too have loved an old car. And I must say, there was something truly magical being behind that wheel. We later went into town and I acted silly in my drum corps hat to keep the kiddo entertained, and then we headed back to spark the boys' artistic side. And while they were chalking and painting, we were building our scarecrow for the scarecrow contest. The straw was provided and everything else had to be built with the stuff that you had. Stuff you'd brought with you or managed to get at the local garage sales. We just happened to find a vintage silver Christmas tree rotating light, and I must say, it was pretty epic.
I'm blue. I'm green.
Are you a Smurf?
I'm red. I'm green. We're orange. I'm red. We're blue. I'm blue. We're blue. We're green. We're red. We're orange. We're chocolate. Mommy, what is my chocolate?
Oh, just what you need, chocolate.
And as the last fire of the week burned out, and I took in the last view of our beloved lake and those cypress trees that I've watched grow from saplings, and we readied the Apache and crammed that old VW truck with all the junk we'd come in with, I just had to smile, even though I was a little bit sad that our time here had come to an end.
You got it all the way home, buddy. Let James play with it right now.
We always leave on Sunday, and as we pull our vintage rigs out of the grand cathedral of the pines, I can't help but feel a renewed sense of wonder and refreshment in my soul, as we've just experienced a little bit of heaven here on earth. And sometimes it's a good thing you've just experienced that kind of peace, because in about 30 seconds, you're gonna need it. Driving along, leaving our sweet little spot, camping, and didn't get very far. I don't even think we got a mile. I think I got a brake locked up in there or something, so got a nut buster with me. And we're gonna try and get this wheel off and see if we can get it home. This is why if you drive junk, you always carry a jack. All right, pull it off.
Okay,
You got up high enough. Yeah, we're go.
Oh, look at there.
Well, that'd make a clank, clank, clank noise, huh?
Yeah.
That one's broke.
No, it's not. Well, yeah, it is. Emergency brake broke it. This one's real crooked.
Well,
I'll tell you what we do.
there goes our noise.
I think that brake will probably still work. I don't want to straighten that slow with the brake. It's still on there. You still got brakes. You just don't have emergency brake.
Okay,
That's all it is.
that was an easy fix.
There's that.
All right, we say we put it back together.
I say wipe it off, wipe this off, we'll wipe this off.
I will say that little nut buster saved our hind end today.
Yeah, but I could have got. I've got.
That was worth.
I've got a little pipe wrench that would have touched that.
That was totally worth the $30 or whatever it is.
Now see this thing here is through there holding that brake. It's bent to a 90, but I don't want to straighten it. It's holding your brakes. We can do this again.
Well, let's check it.
It's holding.
Okay.
You just don't have emergency brake on this side.
All right, let's get it back up.
Let me knock that dirt out there.
Yeah.
Let's see that's getting caught. It's gonna really
Well, I knew something was up. I'm not gonna keep driving it like
no,
that.
It's gonna cause you some grief.
Well, it's just gonna keep busting stuff up in there.
Now you brake drums and everything else.
Got it. And as you can see, the universe even provided us the opportunity to practice a little problem solving on the fly. And because Dad and I are such, well, weirdos, we actually enjoyed it.
It's not hitting the spines, probably. There it went. We'll put this on before we put the cotter pin in. I'll have you start it and turn it again. That big piece is going clank, clank, clank. That's what your clank was.
Well,
Just emergency brake.
here. Just back.
Yep, I'll probably have to get me one of them.
Did you learn your lesson?
Yeah, I think I'll have one of them.
Well, they're cheap enough.
Okay,
Put
well,
it back down.
start it up and put it in gear now and see what. Or wait a minute. I just did it by hand a while ago. There's your noise moment.
Okay.
Okay, drop it down. We'll tighten it up. I'm real good at this. I tighten lug nuts.
Yeah.
Really good at this.
You clear?
Yes.
This jack's real hard to go slow on,
That's all right,
so
it ain't gonna hit me.
I'll try let her down slow, but it usually just drops.
Oh, perfect. Look at that. I gotta find where the hole is.
Yeah, here she comes. Well, at least I'm traveling with Dad. It's not raining.
There's the hole. I think I can make
For
one
the
more.
record, Mom and Dad have trouble on the way down too. So it's not just me. I think it's genetic. Well, now we know what a broken emergency brake sounds like. Close.
Yeah.
Pretty handy tool.
It's thing's worth its weight in gold.
We'd never got that off.
I
That's
may
for,
have
you
come
need to
down.
straighten that up a little bit. It's not very straight. Get in there.
move the nut a little more to get down through there, we'll see.
Here's a little hammer if you want the little one. Like a glove. Here's a screwdriver to spread it first.
That's pretty easy fix. And you still ought to have brakes. Don't want to bend that too much. We may have to take it back off because if that spring,
Well, I'm not gonna put the hubcap back on because we broke that clip anyway.
well, if that spring holder breaks, you're gonna get more noise. It won't be as bad as that one though, because the shoe will be sitting there.
Well, I'm like that. Something's not right.
The shoe probably won't do that.
We made it about a quarter mile and I knew something was up.
That thing is really catching and crunching. It shouldn't last there.
All right,
Yeah, ice cream.
put that all back together and we're good to go. Too much junk in this truck. Just want to give a huge shout out to T. Meyer's Farm Market here in Bologna, Indiana. They offered to help me out. They got a shop right over here. Offered to help me out any parts I needed, any tools I needed that they could provide. They were mine for the use, and they said I could leave the bus here overnight if I needed to. Fortunately for us, it was an easy fix. Just took a little bit of a specialty tool to get her done. But if you're ever this way, stop and get yourself some ice cream. I recommend the butter pecan. So you can make rotisseries out of cable reels, or you can make grist mills out of cable reels. They even have a little putt-putt course that kept the little man entertained while we were working on the truck. It's a perfect place to break down if you must be broken down. Well, that sounds a lot better. I have been in too many junk vehicles and broke down too many times, and I was raised by somebody who taught me to stop when something goes wrong. It could have been a really bad situation. But it still feels like I have brakes, so we might make it at home actually with all four still working, so here's to hoping. Coming in on Lake Monroe here. The color, we're just a little bit further north than where we were, and the color here is really good. Just over the weekend, it's really starting to turn. It's crazy how fast it happens. Dad takes the turn slow signs very seriously. This is the largest lake in my region, about 11,000 acres. There's a place your soul can find your peace, and wherever that place is, I hope you find it. Mine is under the pines next to a lake where the sun rises just a bit slower than anywhere else, and the rolling fog carries all your worries away.